Hello guys, welcome to our new movie recap channel. I've got a surprise for you waiting at the end of this video, so make sure you watch till the end. Our movie starts with Ray. He just turned 18. He was actually trying to join the Juventus squad, but instead he ended up chilling in the pen. He might look like a total airhead, but he was actually a notorious Free Fire gamer. Thing is, he was too lazy to get a job and just hung out at internet cafes. Ray straight up lied, saying he was loaded with cash, but after 3 days of playing, he didn't have a penny to pay the bill. So the owner called the cops, he got busted for fraud, and they sentenced Ray to 6 months of vacation. Once he's booked, Ray gets a cellmate named Peter. Ray is freaked out by the other inmates. The dudes are rough, bald, and just looking to start trouble. Recognizing that looking like a scrub isn't smart, Ray shaves his head to blend in. He decides to lay low, follow the rules, and work hard. Ray soon clocks a gang of 3 guys who prey on younger inmates. When Peter is dragged into the dark room, Ray realizes his cellmate is in for some serious pain. Scared he'll be next, Ray decides he needs protection. He spots the prison's most infamous OG, Lincoln. Lincoln is basically a permanent resident, serving his 5th life sentence for armed robbery. He's surrounded by his crew and is always playing chess. Ray, who's got skills from watching old guys play back in the day, walks up and tells Lincoln straight up that he's getting checkmated in 3 moves. Lincoln tells Ray to buzz off. Ray proves his point, showing Lincoln he's got game. Impressed by the kid's smarts and guts, Lincoln starts liking Ray. Ray sees Peter running back, messed up, and asks what's up. Peter is grinding a toothbrush against the wall to make a shank for self-defense. Ray tells him that's a bad idea, but Peter says he has no choice. The next day, Ray sees the gang getting ready to drag Peter back to the dark room. Knowing the toothbrush shank will only end tragically, Ray steps in. He starts a fight with Peter, making it look like a regular brawl, which brings the guards running. The gang backs off because they don't want the guards on their case. Lincoln sees the whole thing and is impressed by Ray helping his friend. After some time, Lincoln meets up with Ray and tells him that his action didn't really change anything. Peter was still being harassed. And that's just how life in here is. You can't survive without a gang backing you up. The next morning, Ray wakes up and finds that Peter has used the toothbrush shank to kill himself. Ray is shaken, especially after the leader of the gang tells him Peter is gone and that Ray is next. Ray starts sharpening a toothbrush just like Peter, practicing stabs in front of the mirror. When he's heading to the bathroom, he spots the 3 gang members tailing him. As he's about to fight, Lincoln shows up out of nowhere to rescue him. Lincoln's 2 main dudes, Johan and Fat Tony, also roll up for backup. The gang chickens out and bolts. Lincoln gives Ray the lowdown. One tree doesn't make a mountain, meaning Ray can't make it alone. Ray is stoked to have the biggest dog in the yard watching his back. But Lincoln makes it clear, after Ray gets out, he has to help Lincoln and his crew break out. Ray just silently agrees. The gang tries to jump Ray again, but Lincoln and his men step in. Lincoln absolutely destroys the gang's leader. Johan and Tony make sure the guy is taken out of the picture for good. From then on, with Lincoln's protection, no one messes with Ray. 6 months fly by, and Ray is out. He respects the street code, so he follows Lincoln's instructions and heads to a major drug organization to meet Old Man Powell. Powell is the go-to guy for massive heists and drug running. Ray hands Powell Lincoln's letter, and the old man is instantly clued in. Powell tests Ray's smarts with a chess problem, which Ray solves brilliantly, impressing him. Powell tells his nephew Johnny to give Ray a suitcase and show him to his room, warning Ray to be careful or he'll end up in a coffin. Ray is stunned that a street kid like him is staying in a luxurious room. The suitcase is from Lincoln. It has ID papers and a G18 handgun. Suddenly, a hot girl named Lisa bursts in, casually asking to use the bathroom. Ray is instantly smitten. Lisa gives him a wad of cash and a phone, telling him to follow the instructions. She bails, leaving Ray confused. The plan is simple. They need serious firepower to break Lincoln out. Ray uses the cash to hit up a gun dealer in a warehouse. They've got everything from MP5s to M4A1s. Ray grabs a heavy machine gun and an RPG-7 rocket launcher. Since he's a platinum-ranked gamer, Ray quickly aces the crash course in gun training the dealer throws in for free. A few days later, Ray gets the word, time to roll. Ray packs his new hardware and heads to a helicopter tour company. Once airborne, he pulls the gun on the pilot and forces him to fly to the prison. Back in the prison, Lincoln uses the sharpened toothbrush shank he'd prepped and hid. Tony causes a scene to distract the guards, giving Lincoln and the other guy time to grab a guard and take him hostage. They quickly move out back and use the guard's keys to open the gate. Just then, Ray's chopper arrives. He lays down suppressive fire, only shooting to threaten, not to wound, while Lincoln leaps on board. They take off, successfully busting out. They force the pilot to fly to a spot where Old Man Powell has waiting a change of clothes and a getaway car. They stop at a fast food joint. While Tony is grabbing pizza, the radio blasts a news report. 2 armed robbers and a convicted rapist of an 8-year-old have escaped. Lincoln is shocked that Tony, his teammate, is a child rapist. Lincoln hates guys like that. When Ray drives the car to a quiet spot, Lincoln beats Tony and throws him out of the crew. The remaining 3, Lincoln, Ray, and Johan, head back to Powell's base. Powell is psyched because he knows Lincoln will pull off a massive job for him. Powell tells them about the next gig: steal 10 kilos of gold from a refinery. That evening, Ray sees Lisa at a party. He follows her, but he doesn't know she's Johnny's girl. Ray tries to light Lisa's cigarette, but Johnny sees them and shoves Ray into the water. Ray can't swim and nearly drowns while Johnny laughs. Lisa saves him. Since Johnny is Powell's nephew, Ray can't do anything but fume and leave. Lisa chases after him and tells him about her rough past. She was sold to Powell when she was a kid, and Johnny always wanted her, but she never gave in. Ray is happy to hear this. He still has a chance with her. They have a great time, and Lisa teaches him how to use chopsticks. The next day, Lincoln warned Ray to stay away from Lisa, saying she was probably just using him. He made it clear that Ray's crush couldn't screw up their plan. Lincoln takes Ray to scout the refinery. Ray gets the key job: infiltrate the inside to control the workers and open the main door before they hit the alarm. Lincoln then leaves to find their getaway driver. Back at the hideout, Lincoln gives everyone their roles. He and Ray will handle the gold, and the others will provide backup. Johnny, feeling disrespected, throws a tantrum and starts a fight with Ray. Ray is pissed and goes to the bar where Lisa works. When a couple of punks try to harass her, Ray pulls out his gun and scares them off. To thank him, Lisa takes him to the beach. Even though Ray is terrified of water and can't swim, he jumps in after her. She rewards him with a passionate kiss. After their night together, Lisa gives Ray a lucky necklace. Ray spills the beans about the gold heist and says he'll take his cut and run away with her. He tells her to pack her bags. Ray joins the crew to get ready. The gold is worth $100 million. Powell gets them fake IDs, and they easily sneak into the refinery. Lincoln cuts open a vent, and Ray crawls through the ductwork to the main control room. Outside, Lincoln, Johnny, and Johan disable the cameras. They pretend to be security guards and sneak into the control room. Lincoln takes out the guard with a taser, and they disable the alarm system. Ray hears the signal to start. He removes the vent cover, accidentally dropping his flashlight. Panicked, he throws on a mask, jumps down, and subdues the workers. He forces a worker to open the door for his crew. Lincoln and Ray find a skilled worker to help them pour the molten gold into molds. The others stand guard. Johnny, still mad, accidentally shoots a worker in the leg. Lincoln is furious. He punches Johnny and quickly bandages the wounded worker. The gold cools, and they bag 6 bars. The driver calls in. Cops are coming because of Johnny's gunshot. Thinking fast, Lincoln has the crew hide their weapons, blend in with the hostages, and walk out with them. When the police ease up, Lincoln pulls out a rifle and shoots out the cop car tires and fires warning shots. The getaway car arrives, and they pile in. Tony, in the middle, gets shot in the chest. They floor it, but 2 police cars are right behind them. The driver swerves wildly. Tony is bleeding out. In his last moments, he asks Lincoln to give his share of the gold to his daughter. Ray is heartbroken. Lincoln goes ballistic and starts shooting wildly. The driver pulls a crazy move, making the 2 police cars crash into each other. They successfully lose the cops, switch vehicles, and escape inside a shipping container. They meet Powell and his goons at the drop-off. Johnny immediately blabs to Powell that Lincoln hit him and that it was his fault the cops came. Lincoln shouts that he lost a man because of Johnny's screw-up. The gold is all there, 6 bars. Powell says he'll divide the money after the gold is cut and sold. Lincoln and Ray say goodbye to Tony, burning the car with his body in it and pushing it off a cliff. Lisa, thrilled the heist succeeded, starts packing to run away with Ray. Johnny shows up with flowers. While Lisa is making tea, Johnny sees her packed bags and realizes she's trying to ditch him. He demands to know who she's leaving him for. She throws the kettle of tea in his face. He beats her up. She fights back and whacks him with a hot iron. Lisa manages to escape and runs to find Ray. Meanwhile, Ray and Lincoln are surrounded by a SWAT team at their motel. Powell betrayed them. and called the cops to take all the gold for himself. Lincoln, furious, leads Ray to a cemetery. He digs up his ex-girlfriend's grave and retrieves a briefcase he hid there before going to prison. Lincoln figures out Pow is shipping the gold to an area called Emberg to cut it up. The two hop a train to the city. Ray buys a ticket for Lisa and tells her to meet them. They hook up and stay at a hostel. They see a news report. They are both wanted for escape and robbery. Lincoln suspects Pow is using this to cut them off. Lincoln gives Lisa some cash to send to Tony's daughter. Then, he tells Ray they have to cut Lisa out of the plan, saying she's probably a snitch who will sell them out once she has her share. Ray strongly disagrees. He trusts Lisa completely. Outside, Lisa is being watched by one of Pow's hitmen. She's not after the money. She just wants freedom and real love. But when she gets back to the room, she overhears Lincoln telling Ray to dump her. Ray, without saying a word, grabs the cash to give her. Lisa is devastated and walks away. Ray catches up and explains that he only did it to keep her safe. He promises that once they get the gold, they'll go to Vietnam and live peacefully. Lisa says he's naive and that Lincoln is just using him. She leaves. Back at the hostel, the hitman Pow sent ambushes Lincoln. Lincoln convinces the hitman that Pow is the bad guy who is trying to screw everyone out of the gold. The hitman agrees to help Lincoln in exchange for a cut of the gold. Ray is torn, but realizes he needs the money, so he goes back to the hostel to stick with the plan. The next morning, Lincoln gives Ray a gun. It's time to get their gold back. Ray stakes out the money laundering spot where Pow does business. Johnny shows up to handle the exchange. As Johnny hands over the warehouse key for the gold, the hitman slammed his car right into him. Ray and Lincoln rush in to take out the other guys. Johnny is still alive, so they drag him to a warehouse. Lincoln threatens him, but Johnny refuses to talk. Lincoln locks him in a freezer. An hour later, Johnny is frozen stiff and spills the location of the gold. They find the 6 bars of gold. Lincoln decides they need to take out Pow or he'll keep trying to screw them. They then hide the remaining 5 bars under a wheelchair to sneak it past airport security. They find Pow and Lincoln confronts him. Pow tries to shoot, but Lincoln is faster and takes him out. Problem solved. They stay at a hotel. Lincoln hides the gold under the bed and goes to buy a boat. Ray tells Lincoln he's craving chocolate. Lincoln locks the door and takes Ray out to sea to buy a yacht from an old fisherman, planning to sail away the next day. Lincoln is paranoid Ray will steal the gold, so he keeps an eye on him the whole night, even while sleeping. The next morning, they load the suitcase onto the yacht. Lincoln turns to Ray and says, "The game's over. I just used you." Ray calmly responds that the game is indeed over, and the weapon Lincoln has is the one he prepared. Lincoln is stunned, realizing Ray is one step ahead. He rushes below deck, opens the suitcase and finds it's empty. The gold is gone. Lincoln threatens to shoot Ray, but Lisa calls. She tells him if he wants his share, he needs to listen to them. Turns out, Ray and Lisa were working together. When Ray said he was going for chocolate, he'd actually given the hotel manager a code. He texted the hotel address to Lisa, and while Lincoln was buying the yacht, Lisa came, gave the code, got the spare key, and stole the gold. Furious, Lincoln tackles Ray into the ocean. Ray starts to drown, and Lincoln, despite everything, saves him. Ray tells Lincoln he'll get his half and to wait for his call. Ray gets to shore and is met by Lisa, who has the gold. They take 2 bars and bury them in Lincoln's ex-girlfriend's grave. Lincoln gets caught and thrown back in jail. Months later, he gets a letter with the location of the gold and a message. Tony's daughter got her share. There's also a picture of Lisa, who is pregnant. Lincoln, the seasoned criminal, realizes he was outplayed by the 2 kids. That's the end of the movie. All right, guys, as I promised, 5 random people will win prizes from our channel. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment "done" down below. Don't miss your chance. Winners will be announced soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.